how some stories just stick with you? Especially the simple ones, the ones you hear when you're a kid. Well, today we're going to look at one of those stories, all about a character named Wolfoo and his invisible friend. But we're not just going to retell it. Oh no, we're going to look at the craft behind it, the nuts and bolts. There's this great saying, "Расскажи сказку," which means tell a fairy tale, but it kind of implies more than that. It implies that the way you tell the story, the structure, the pacing, all of it, that's where the real magic is. So let's use that as our guide and break down how this super simple tale teaches a huge lesson about empathy, one step at a time. All right, so every great story has to start somewhere, right? Usually it's in what we call the ordinary world. And for our hero Wolfoo, that world feels, well, a little bit lonely. You see his sister drawing, his dad's fixing the car, his mom's cooking. Everyone's busy, and he's just kind of on the outside looking in. It's a feeling we all know, that sense of isolation, and it is the perfect emotional launchpad for what's coming next. And there it is. That's the heart of it right there. In storytelling terms, this is the big one, the inciting incident. It's so much more than just a line of dialogue, isn't it? It's a real, heartfelt wish that basically lights the fuse for the entire plot. It's that moment where the ordinary world just isn't cutting it anymore, and that desire for something more is finally spoken out loud. So, what happens when a hero makes a wish like that? Well, the universe tends to answer, but usually in a pretty mysterious way. This is what storytellers call supernatural aid. Some kind of unexpected guide shows up. But here's the thing, this guy doesn't just knock on the door and say hi. The mystery is part of the magic, you know? It's like a new possibility that hasn't fully taken shape yet. Okay, now what's so cool about this is how simple and effective it is. Just a little whoosh and a swing moving on its own. It's the very first clue that the rules of Wolfo's world are starting to bend. It's subtle, it's a little bit spooky, and it totally grabs your attention. This is way more powerful than some big, grand entrance, because it pulls you in with sheer curiosity. Something magical is definitely happening. Wolfo's reaction here is just perfect. It's not pure fear, and it's not just excitement either. It's that mix of curiosity and a little bit of caution that feels so real. He's taking a step toward the unknown, asking the question that we're all thinking, and basically inviting us to come along for the ride. And the answer is just as mysterious as the swing. It's not an explanation, it's just a simple, comforting presence. I'm right here. And with those three little words, the magical helper has officially arrived, and Wolfoo's lonely afternoon is about to turn into a deep dive into what friendship really means. So, the wish is granted. Wolfoo has a friend to play with. And just like in so many of these stories, the first part is just pure fun. But getting what you want often comes with a test. This is where our hero faces their first real trial, what we call the ordeal. The fun starts out amazing, but with no thought for the consequences, it's about to get way out of hand. And this captures that initial burst of joy perfectly. It's just wild, unrestrained fun. Tag, racing, no rules. It's like the honeymoon phase of their new friendship. This is exactly what Wolfoo thought he wanted, and for a minute it seems like the perfect fix for his loneliness. But the story is quietly setting us up for a much, much deeper lesson. And then, the first little crack appears. I mean, it seems so small, doesn't it? Just some blocks falling over. But in a really well-told story, there are no small accidents. This is the first domino to fall. It's a tiny hint that their freewheeling fun is starting to have side effects, spilling out into the world around them. And you can see the chaos is building. Notice how fast it's happening. First blocks, now spilled paint. The consequences are getting bigger and they're getting messier. Their game isn't just their own anymore, it's literally spilling out and starting to affect other people. The tension is just building beautifully. And this is the turning point. This isn't just an accident you can wipe up with a paper towel. This action directly hurts someone else. It ruins his sister Lucy's drawing. The fun has officially stopped being harmless. This is the moment the ordeal hits its peak, and it shifts from just a mess to a really personal moment of pain. Oof, this question from his crying sister is a total emotional gut punch. It forces Wolfoo to face the real-world results of his fun. I mean, he didn't mean to do it, but that doesn't really matter, does it? It happened. And now he has to deal with the fact that his actions, even when they come from a place of joy, can cause real hurt to other people. So, after the crash and the chaos comes the quiet. And in that quiet, we get what's called the revelation. This is that moment of reflection where the hero, and us, the audience, we get to process what just happened.
It's right here, in the aftermath, that the story's true lesson really gets delivered.
This comparison is everything. Seriously. On the left, you've got Wolfoos' side of it. It's innocent, it's relatable, but it's totally self-centered. And on the right, you have the guide's wisdom. And this is why this structure is so brilliant for teaching. It doesn't just say, hey, don't be mean. It reframes the whole idea. It teaches empathy by adding one crucial condition to something everybody wants: fun.
And then the story boils this whole complex idea down into one beautifully simple definition. Real friendship is fun that doesn't hurt others. In narrative terms, this is the elixir. It's the piece of wisdom that Wolfoo earned by going through that whole ordeal. This is the main lesson, the treasure he gets to carry with him.
But learning a lesson is only half the job. The last part of any hero's journey is the return. The hero has to take that new wisdom and actually use it back in their normal life. This is what proves the change is real, that it's not just some passing thought.
And look how concrete this is. It's not just about a feeling, it's a list of actions. Cleaning, helping, apologizing. This is how the story makes a big abstract idea like empathy feel real and doable for a kid. Wolfoo is showing his new understanding by actively working to fix the hurt he caused. This is the proof in the pudding. And right here, we see the real purpose of the magical guide. The invisible friend wasn't just there to play, it was there to teach. And once that lesson is truly learned, the guide's work is done. It's a classic mentor move, and it's so powerful because it teaches self-reliance. The goal was never to have a magical friend forever, but to learn how to be one yourself. And this brings us right back to the beginning, full circle. The story started with Wolfoo feeling so incredibly alone. But now, after learning how to connect with someone by actually thinking about their feelings, he's filled with this warmth and connection. He didn't solve his loneliness with a magic trick, but by fundamentally changing how he acts. So what started as a simple kid's story ends up delivering a pretty profound lesson, all through the power of its structure. It really all comes back to that idea. Rozkaži сказку. Tell the tale. The power isn't just in the moral at the end, it's baked into the journey the story takes us on. Which leaves us with a great question to chew on. If you had to tell just one single tale to teach someone the value of empathy, what story would you pick? And maybe more importantly, how would you tell it?